There we go, we seem to be working now. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FTRL. F1 action kicking off again. Season 16 starts tonight. And the quest for the championship in Div 1. So after a couple of weeks off, we are back with some F1 action. 15 weeks ahead of us, 15 rounds to get through to become the Season 16 champion. And it'll have to go some way to top the Season 15 championship, which saw an epic duel between Scuba and Dutch Tricks. It came down to a final round decider as they came in tied on points. But it was Scuba, the man currently on screen in the Red Bull, who ended up clinching the championship. He's back to defend his crown. He is the man with the target on his back. He is the one that they all want to beat, and none more than the man currently sat in provisional pole position. That is Mr. Dutch Tricks in the Mercedes. He is your current provisional pole sitter then in this first qualifying session. We are here, of course, at the Hanoi circuit in Vietnam, not Thailand. And what will be the final time? It is seen probably on F1 games at all, because of course it was a circuit that never was in 2020 with the weird season with COVID, and it's not on the 2021 calendar, so this will be the final time drivers take to it. In just the second time it has appeared on the FTRL calendar proper. Here comes Dutch Tricks then out of the final corner. Does he improve his lap time? He does not. No, half a second down. After that lap, so still on provisional pole position for the time being. The four-time champ looking to reclaim his crown after losing out last season to his then teammate. So runners and riders then for season 16. Of course, as I mentioned, we've got 15 rounds ahead of us then. We've got 10 in a row, a week break, and then a final flourish of 5 races before we crown the season 16 champion, on which will be the final season on the 2020 game. On the back straight, giving slipstream, or is he getting in the way? Probably Tico, I imagine. Indeed it is. Tico gets a bit of slingshot off of his compatriot and carries on his way. So let's have a quick run down the runners of the riders. As we can see, we've got Dutch Tricks on screen. He is back in the Mercedes this season, and he is joined by a newcomer to the league, SMM Carson, who unfortunately can't be with us this week. Hopefully he should be back next week. He has a test to be revising for, so good luck with your test, mate. And they will form the Mercedes duo. Of course, the reigning Constructors champions. They absolutely dominated last season with Dutch Tricks and Scuba at the wheel. The second team to think of then is that of the reigning champ, Red Bull, and has, of course, Scuba in it this season. He picked that. And he is with the Swiss Star AP 1997, currently down in P12. Scuba currently P6. So again, the Hanoi circuit is dividing opinion amongst the drivers. It's not an overly popular circuit. But the sign of a good driver is to extract the maximum at circuits you do not like, so they make up the Red Bulls then. So at Ferrari we have got a newcomer to the league. Just come past him there. We've got Yanne, who is a friend of Miss Oxhox, and there he goes for a quick half spin at one of the roundabouts. It's out of the way and carries on his way. This is his first start in FTRL. He's new to the league. One of the growing Finnish contingent, so hopefully he will have a good race tonight to start off his FTRL career. He doesn't have a teammate, however we are expecting to partner him up with Matt Tibos later in the season when he is available. So just the one Ferrari on track this evening. Then further up, let's go to AlphaTauri then, which plays home to perennial penalty picker-upper Tico. Can he finally come good on all his promise and all his speed? He currently shares the front row provisionally with Dutch Tricks. He is joined at AlphaTauri by The man returning from Div 2 is Captain Chubbs, who has stepped back up from Div 2 and learned his wheel last season. He's back to ply his trade in the top division. Currently sitting in P12 on a 34 flat. Will he live up to the bottle name? Fingers crossed he will keep it out of the walls and he can have a strong showing tonight. Meanwhile, there's been a change at the top of the standings. And it is another of the new additions. It is the Williams of Calspur, who has done a 32.6. He is 2/10 up on the previous best time. He is joined at Williams by the ever lovable Mr. Luke Holmes, aka Sway. He's currently sat in P7, so both Williams are going very strongly so far. At Racing Point this season, we've got Lynx FN, a star in the making. He has a number of strong results last season. Never quite got that podium he probably deserved. He had a couple of near misses with it. Hopefully season 16 will be the season where he gets onto the podium. He is joined the ever lovable Wesker, who is in the second of the Racing Points. Of course, their newly branded Aston Martin team releasing their car tomorrow. One of the most anticipated liveries on the grid. In the Alfa Romeos then, we have got TMC CR7, a man who displayed some blistering pace last season when he joined FTRL. A couple of pole positions, just missed out on the podiums. But I'm sure they are not far away for him this season. And he is joined by Evil Chris, a formerly Enduro Chris. They are at Alfa Romeo together. Again, Chris is another one who was a bit of a star last season. A number of good results from him. Will he live up to that promise and deliver a podium this season? We shall see. At the McLarens, we have got the returning HG Oxox. And his teammate this season isn't with us this week. Let's have a quick check who that is, because I cannot remember off the top of my head. Just loving the chats. My outgoing teammate, Mr. Dan Morris. Good evening, Dan. Nice to have you with us in stream. Looking forward to getting back on track with you tomorrow. Of course, the reigning Div 2 champion. And Mr. Unsafe Release. Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure. It was nice to share the track with you on Thursday and on... No, you on Friday, but we got to share the track on Saturday. So, it's nice. And GT action back later in the week then. So, who were we doing? Yes, I was checking the lineup for the season, wasn't I? So I can't remember who else is in the McLaren. Where are we? Season 16 driver lineup. At McLaren's course, Corloy, who unfortunately can't be with us this week, so that is the McLaren pairing for the season. Likely to be some strong results in from those two. Then at Renault, we've got one of the division admins, Tom Duval, one of the stars of last season. In the Renault, he is joined at the Renault by Graham, who is back in the Renault after he was last season. Those two, I expect a close battle between those two. Very similar on pace. Graham, of course, one of those clear drivers who often jumps up the order at the end and the penalties are applied. Can he continue his good form from last season? We shall see. And then the final team to go through is that of Haas, where we have got the returning Adamaco. Again, another one who put in a number of strong performances last season. And he is joined by Lennon, who has unfortunately retired from the session already. So the walls have caught out a couple of drivers. Maybe they've just called it quits for the evening. So we approach the end of the session then. So Dutch Tricks meanwhile has gone back to the top of the standings. 32.4, has put himself 2/10 up on Calspert, who is not going to make it round, so he's not going to have a chance to try and win back that pole position. He's timed his out that poorly, so he will line up at best P2. We'll go on board then with Tico, who is looking to jump back onto the front row of the grid. Needs to find about 0.4 of a second. Sector 2, then this long back straight even before they get to the DRS zone, which is at the very end of it. Two again there, you can see Dutch Tricks giving Tico some slingshot down into the braking zone. Sector 2 checkpoint is at the end of this short straight. So we'll see if he is up on his time. The answer is he is. And he is very close. Locks that right front tyre. Just misses the wall there. You have to be close to the walls though to be quick. Flings it into the right-hander, up against the wall. Now back over for the left-hander. Rides the curb. Wheel over the curb on the inside there of the right-hander. Just a couple of corners to go. He's got the racing point in front of him. Will he be able to get a bit of a slipstream off that into the final corner? He comes. Drives for the line. And he improves, but just not enough to get back onto the front row of the grid. So if Tico stays P3, comes up just short. Scuba jumps up to join him on the second row of the grid with his final run, 33 flat. And that, I believe, is that for qualifying. First round then is done, so Dutch Tricks strikes first. He will start season 16 on pole position. Joining him is Calspert. Then we've got Tico and Scuba on the second row, CR7 and Lynx on the third, Adamaco and Oxhox on the fourth row, Sway and Evil Chris rounding out the top 10. So, qualifying done. Of course, it's a tricky track to overtake. It's got some overtaking opportunities, more than say Monaco, maybe not as many as Singapore or Baku, but we shall see. Of course, this is just the second race on this track we have done, and so Dutch Tricks will start on pole position. Alongside him is Calspert. Tico and Scuba go off the second row of the grid. CR7 and Lynx on the third. Adamaco and Oxhox line up on the fourth row with Sway and Evil Chris rounding out the top 10. They all start on the soft tyre, then outside of the top 10, and with a free tyre choice for the race. In 11th is Captain Chubbs, ahead of Wesker. Then you've got Tom Duval and Gran, the two Renaults. AP is 15th, Lennon is 16th, and Yanne starts his FTRL career in P17. In the chat, I've got Max Deff, who is on his way home. He should be joining me on comms shortly. Mr. Norman in the chat. Good evening, AJ. Dan Morris already calling wet race for Div 2 tomorrow. Let's hope we've left the wet weather behind us in season 15, and we can at least have a few more drive races this season. If you're watching Agent Panda, stop doing your A dance right now. Enzo Felice asking, what's my favourite Tilke track from the modern era since Bahrain? Interesting question. I mean, my favourite. I did like the Bud circuit in India. If I'm honest, that was a good, quite a nice design. Unfortunately, it fell off the calendar. Of the ones that are left, probably Kota. If I'm honest, circuit in the Americas. It looks like it's a decent challenge. Unlike a lot of the other ones, a lot of the other ones are just good facilities, and the circuits themselves are a bit uninspiring. So yeah, I'd say Kota, but the Bud circuit in India was probably my favourite of all the ones he has done. And here we go then, our first formation lap of season 16. And there is the expected pit stop strategy. We're looking at a 2-stop race ahead of us then. So are we going soft, medium, soft, soft, hard, soft? We shall see. Let's get the telemetry up, see what tyres everybody is starting on outside of the top 10, who's been aggressive, who's playing the long game. So Dutch Tricks starts on pole position, exactly the start he wants to his bid to reclaim his Drivers' Championship. Starts on pole alongside the newly acquired Calspert. Of course, this is a very quick boy, a former esports qualifier, so expect him to be at the very sharp end of this grid for a lot of this season. Will he get on in the top division of FTRL? I'll find out in a couple of minutes' time. Tico forever at the front as well. Can he get on terms with his Dutch compatriot? Can he jump Calspert off the start? Get in the mix for the race win. He starts P3 alongside the reigning champ. Scuba is on row 2, starts P4. Looking to get back to enjoying his racing. Put in a brilliant performance last season. He was definitely the star of the first half of last season. He opened up a handy advantage, then Dutch Tricks just chipped away at the second half. It all came down to that final race at Brazil, where he prevailed, won the race in dominant fashion, took the fastest lap as well, just to make sure. Exclamation point for the Red Bull driver. And so, lining up P5 is CR7 in the Alfa Romeo. Star of qualifying, had a couple of strong races, didn't get the results he deserved though. Will this season be the one where he capitalises on those excellent qualifying performances and strong race results that he nearly got last season? Lynx lines up in P6, another one who promised some very strong results. Will he be capitalising on them this season? In P7 is Adamako in the Haas, lines up alongside Oxhox. Sway in P9 in the second of the Williams, and Evil Chris rounds out the top 10. They are all starting on the soft tyres. They qualified then outside of the top 10. Captain Chubbs is starting on the hard tyre, so he is the only driver on the hard tyre. Behind him, Wesker is starting on the mediums. You've got Tom Naval starting on the soft, so he's going aggressive. Graham in 14th is on the medium. AP in the second of the Red Bulls on the mediums. Lennon starting on the soft tyres, and Yanne in the Ferrari also on the softs.
Hello, Lee.
Leaving Max right on time.
Oh, what a timing.
Could not have timed that any better, my friends. Here we are then. The formation lap is done. We wait for the lights.
And season 16, and here we go.
And away we go. One of the Reddits pops out into the middle of the track in the background. He's had a good start. Tico and Kalsper going side by side on the run down towards turn 1, but Dutch Tricks has got the jump. Does everybody get through okay? Look down the pack. Everybody seems to have got through okay. Yep, we're all through okay. The scoring board has gone a little bit mental already, and now we've completely lost the order. Let's give that a second just to sort itself out. Got to pick up Dutch Tricks because we know he is still in the lead of the race. Tico looking at Kalsper behind him. Scuba slotted into 4th place with Lynx in 5th, so he's got ahead of CR7. The position changes then, so he's made the jump already. Adamako, Oxox and Sway have all stayed. Actually, Tom Deval up 3 already and trying to make that 4. Goes wheel to wheel with Sway down the back straight. Ahead, Oxox looking at Adamako, who in turn is looking at CR7. Oh, big move. Oh, contact. CR7 has hit Scuba.
Oh no. Scuba.
Scuba into the wall. CR7 just seemed to completely lose sight of his braking zone. Went to avoid Lynx and speared into Scuba and put him into the wall. CR7 is going again. Scuba is going as well. But I think he has picked up some wing damage and all that he has.
Oh no.
So that has put Scuba straight onto the back foot, is he? He's going to have to pit surely.
Has to.
And he comes, yet. So Scuba's championship defence off to the worst possible start. CR7 is crawling back as well. Big hit from him.
Oh no, lucky.
So not the ideal start at all there. One man, however, who is, oh, well, serenely on his way is Dutch Tricks. However, now Kalsper has settled down and is giving chase. Still, the game going a little bit crazy with the timing screen.
There we go.
There we go. Sort itself out again now. Then, so Dutch Tricks are having a little bit of a wobble.
Jesus.
Onto the back straight we go then for the second lap. And then amongst all that as well, AP picked up a penalty for ignoring yellow flags and all that, so both Red Bulls in strife on the opening lap. Down to the hairpin they go. Dutch Trick still leads. Kalsper now closing in though. He's bringing Tico with him. So he made a little bit of a break from Lynx, who's in P4. Oxox has got ahead of Adamako, so he's up to P6. Adamako in 7th. Tom Deval up to 8th. He's up 5 places already. He's had a great start. In the Renault, and we've got a yellow flag, and CR7 has retired from the race. He's retired in the pit lane then, so unfortunately CR7 season off to the worst possible start. So all that promised a strong qualifying, and it all goes Pete Tong on lap 1. final corner to complete lap 2, start lap 3, which means that DRS will be enabled this time around. Into the first corner we go. And this long turn 2. I think it's tightened. Yeah, the flags out as the Alfa Romeo's come back out onto the track despite retiring in the pit lane. Drivers going around him. Not close enough to make any moves at the moment though. But a lot of trains going on. They're still quite close together apart from Scuba. Of course, just had to make that pit stop. He'll be hoping for a safety car to bring him back in line with the pack. He's got a lot of work to do. DRS now wide open then on a couple of cars. He's gone down to the hairpin. With links there, he's got a nice little gap at the moment behind him to Ox. He's just got a little bit of ground to make up those to the top 3. Who are running line astern. Dutch Trick still leads. Calsper though right on his rear wing. TK there in the background, just still within DRS range. Want to keep hold of that, that'll keep him in touch. Dutch will be hoping he can get close and start applying pressure to Calsper, because Calsper is now looking to start applying pressure to him. Dutch Trick locks up into the penultimate corner. Come round to complete lap 3. Get on to lap 4. Ooh, Lynx was a little bit wide at the final corner then. Got close to the wall. A couple of the drivers there, I think it was Wesker in the background as well, doing the same. So both raising points, flirting with that wall at the final corner. Both of them seem to have...
Chris right on the back of them also. Lennon Steven also really keeping up close.
Yeah, Lennon's another one with a good start, up to P11. And Yanni up to P12 as well. So we've got a nice little trend. So we've got 3 breaking away for the lead at the moment, then a bit of a gap back to Lynx, who's kind of in no man's land at the moment. That's Adamako and Ox side by side. Adamako with the DRS. It's going to go through. Tom DeVal's trying to buy into this as well. Not quite close enough to make a move on Ox. So Adamako back up into P5. Onto the back straight again. Now Ox will have the DRS on the Has. He's already in the slipstream though. He's already pulled out. They're already side by side. Ox now gets a DRS. That should make the move a basic formality. He's got the inside for the hairpin. Tom DeVal drops in behind him. He's trying to make his way through as well. Ox to the racing line. Tom DeVal's got the inside of both of them, and now Adamako's going to make it 3 wide. This might not end well. Oh, contact with the wall for Ox, and there goes an end plate.
There comes Sway.
And now Sway as well, trying to go wheel to wheel. Oh, he's gone a little bit deep. Ox comes back at him. Sway has to concede. So now Ox is wounded, and then round the outside he goes, and he gets the move done. Good move from Sway, although it goes hot into the next part, just runs over the curb. Ox dives into the pits. He's now got wing damage as well, so not a circuit where you can really carry wing damage. A lot of slow corners around here that really hurts, and the high speed corners as well. So Ox's strong start to the race unfortunately comes to the end there as they went 3 wide out of the hairpin. He was the unlucky one. Clipped the wall, and an end plate flew off into the sky, which leaves Adamako and Tom DeVal now battling over P5. Sway still in touch in P7. And he's got Wesker not far behind him, who's got Evil Chris, Lennon, and Yanni, who's on the back of his train as well then. So some of the guys at the back there have kept themselves out of trouble in the opening few laps, starting to make a good bit of progress. A little bit further back there you've got Chubbs and Graham battling. Oh, Ox has come out of the pits and gone wide already on cold tyres. And now he's got Scuba's got a little bit of company at the front meanwhile, and it's as you were. But these 3 have now closed up, so Tico has caught onto the back as Tom DeVal goes past. Oh, but he's gone wide at the hairpin. What happened to Adamako? He's just got poor traction as well. So Tom DeVal all the way up to P5 already. He has had a storming start to this race. However, those 2 battling have just slowed each other up, and now Sway is very much back in this battle as well. And Wesker and Evil Chris and Lennon and Yanni have come with them, so we've got a train from 5th all the way down to 11th. Led by Tom DeVal. This has all let Lynx very much pull away in front of them now. He is 3.5 seconds ahead, so very comfortable in P4 at the moment. However, he's 4 seconds behind the lead trio, which still stands as Dutch Tricks, Calsper and Tico. All in DRS range of each other, but not close enough to strike at this stage. I think they're just happy to keep the speed up, keep opening that gap up, and they can squabble over the big positions a little bit later on now. Down the DRS straight, here comes Adamako. Is he close enough? Not this time. He's going to sit in for now. Maybe wait for the second DRS zone. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Oh, Ox is retired. And a safety car is out.
Oh, safety car. First safety car of season 16.
First safety car of season 16 indeed. So where has that happened? Can't see. Oh, it looks like he's gone off at the exit of turn 1. He might even be at the end of turn 1. Looks like his car is in the wall. Ox season not off to the best of starts, but showed some good pace in that qualifying session. I'm sure he will be back fighting for strong results next time out. So do the front runners take this opportunity to pit? We are looking at a 2-stop strategy.
I don't know.
Well,
I think they do.
You think so? Well, let's see what Dutch Tricks does. He's coming round to the final couple of corners now, and he's in. Calsper follows him in. Tico's in as well.
Nice and close.
In comes Lynx. Tom de Waal also in. Yep. Everybody on the soft tyres is coming in. So is Wesker, interestingly enough. Oh, contact. And oh, Lennon's lost out to Yane in the pits there. So Yane has managed to jump Lennon on the entry to the pit lane.
Little risky move there, but
a little bit risky, yes. Now this obviously helps Scuba out immensely, because this will put him back on the back of the pack. He might not be able to jump up the order, but most importantly he'll be back with the train, so everybody will be in front of him. Dutch Tricks on his way. He still leads the race. He has come out then on the hard tyre, as has Calsper, and as has Tico. So your top 3 all coming out on the mediums then. Who's gone something different? Lynx is on the hard tyre still. Adamako on the hards as well. Now Sway has come out on the mediums. So he's gone aggressive for this second stint. Wesker's out again. He's on the hards, as is Yane. Tom de Waal has lost out in all that. He came into the pits in P5. He's come out in P9. So he's lost out in that, but he's coming out on the medium tyre, so he's going aggressive for the second stint. You've got Evil Chris, he is on the hard tyre. Lennon also on the hard tyre. AP's ghosted car, I think he has unfortunately lagged out the session, I believe. He's on the mediums. And you've got Captain Chubbs has come out on the medium tyre. Scuba is up to P14 on his 5-lap old mediums, and Graham out on the hards in the second of the Renaults. So the big winner in all that's definitely Yane, who is up now to P8. And the big loser is Tom de Waal, who did all the hard work to get to P5, and in the pit sequence he's been caught out and dropped all the way down to P9 again.
That's cool. Losing 10 spots to that little accident there.
It's a little accident. It was a pretty big accident from what it looked like, because CR7 was travelling when he speared into the side of him. I think he's lucky to still be going, to be honest. Now, while we're under the safety car, I've been advised I need to have a look at Tom de Waal's new helmet. You can, it's very pink and blue. I believe it's a Chelsea away kit colour, isn't it?
Here we go, Graham joined the back.
So the car's then under safety car conditions. We're on lap 7 of 28, so we are 1/4 race distance. Everybody has made their first pit stop then. The pit window is now open for those on the soft tyres, so of course everybody made their pit stop already. So Max,
Any
we're
race
back.
predictions?
Any race predictions?
We haven't done that yet, actually.
No, we didn't do that. No, we did not do that, unfortunately.
I couldn't have asked you that question, sorry. Was not there for that. I don't know.
I mean, I expect the front 3 to be the podium, provided they all finish. It's a question of whether or not Calsper can make a move on Dutch or not, or whether or not Dutch can hold him back. Obviously, Carlsberg's a very highly rated driver. He set some very impressive lap times just prior to this evening's race. And they kind of put the fear amongst them, but the man in front is currently Dutch Tricks. But with that DRS, Dutch just needs to keep a gap on the DRS straights. He might be able to hold him back, but obviously we've not really seen what kind of driver Carlsberg is. Is he going to be somebody who's going to go for the big move? Is he just going to bide his time? Is he going to go for it in the pit strategy? Who knows? But I think Dutch will win. I think the top three will stay as they are. I think a Dutch win, Carlsberg second, Tico third, and I think Scuba might get back up to P8. That's my prediction.
Yeah, but I think that's very right. Top three is definitely going to stay up front, because I think they showed in the first 1/3 of the race that they can definitely pick up that pace. They were 3.7 seconds away from the 4th place. I think top three will stay like they are. Now, only what I guess, I don't know what positions are going to change. As expected, my guess, I think the Strix will take this win, but let's wait and see, of course.
So we're about to get racing again then, on what will be lap 9 when they cross the line to start racing conditions again. Dutch Tricks leading them round. Just warming his tyres up. When does he decide to pull the trigger? Does he go around the penultimate corner? He does indeed. Away he goes. Tico's on his toes, right on the back of Carlsberg. Dutch has got a good jump there. Does everybody get around the final corner? Carlsberg's having to go defensive. Tico looking for a move. Not close enough though. Carlsberg locks up, goes wide. Tico trying to get around the outside. Not close enough. Lynx has had a good jump, he's on the back of them as well. So Lynx has had a reasonable start then, a reasonable restart. And trying to stay with them now, then Dutch Tricks has got a very good jump, he's 1.1 seconds ahead. Dutch Tricks getting an excellent restart. Tico again pops out of the slipstream, but not close enough in the background. That was Yarne going side by side with Tom Duval, who's gone round the outside of him. So Tom Duval reclaims one of his positions he lost in the pits. Of course, on those medium tyres, he can have a little bit more grip and pace at this stage of the race. He's got to make use of it while he's got the advantage. Go back to this battle for P2. Then Carlsberg's had a good exit down the back straight. Got Tico at arm's length. And has started to close back in on Dutch Tricks. Tico under brakes right into the back of the Williams. And he moves into the hairpin. Not this time. Locks up that front tyre again.
Carlsberg catching up again.
Yeah, he's managed to hold off that initial barrage from Tico. He's got himself settled back in again and is now chipping away at Dutch Tricks' lead. Lynx is hanging on though well in 4th place this time. Still in DRS or just maybe now just starting to fall away against the top three, just start to stretch their legs. We start lap 10. Sway popping out from behind Adamako, but not close enough. Further back we've got Scuba going past Lennon. Has Lennon made a mistake there? He's dropped down a couple of places. I don't know if he had a poor run out of the final corner. Graham's got past him as well, so Scuba up to P12. Chasing down Chubbs, who's in 11th. No DRS for 2 laps after the safety car, so another lap without, and then it will be reactivated again next time around. Dutch Tricks holding that gap at just under a second, so he's got a healthy advantage at this stage.
So you can see Carlsberg using all his DRS to stay up front with Dutch Tricks also.
Yeah, Dutch on 73% at the moment, Carlsberg down 25, Tico in the middle at 40. 40-50 as Sway goes down the inside of Adamako into the hairpin. Gets it done. Good move. Uses that traction off those medium tyres to keep himself ahead. And now Wesker, who's just slowly making his way up the order. Now running P7. He's now onto the back of Adamako. Yes, as they go. So Sway on the move. Both Williams now into the top 5. Can you do anything about Lynx in P4? Who is just outside of DRS range of Tico. He's just starting to fall back now from Carlsberg, who's got his afterburners on. Dutch Tricks keeping him at arm's length. Oh, Lennon's retired from the session. Where has he crashed? Oh, he's hit the pit wall. Or is he in the pits? He might actually be in the pits. Okay, it looks like his car's in the pit lane, so there shouldn't be any safety car.
Yeah, he left the session also. Got damaged, he says. Obviously, otherwise he wouldn't retire.
That's also down to 14 left on track. Dutch Tricks still your race leader. Carlsberg second, Tico third, Links in fourth. Sway giving chase. Anybody close enough? Here we go, there's a good battle here for P9. Yarne under pressure from Evil Chris and Scuba and Chubbs. The Scuba's up ahead of Chubbs now as well. Here comes Evil Chris into the braking zone. Yarne gives him the squeeze, but down the inside goes Evil Chris. Yarne has to go over the curb, and now Scuba's on him as well.
Nice.
And he buys into that as well, so Yarne, they're trying to defend, got forced out a little bit wide there, defending from Evil Chris, and Scuba takes full advantage. And through he goes, yellow flag. Sector 2, that's Lennon's car on track again. Retiring. As they fling it through the right, left. And the right-hander again, towards the end of the lap. Here comes now Chubbs right onto the back of the Ferrari man.
P9, P10, P11, P12 in a good little battle here.
Here they are. They're now under a lot of pressure from Chubbs. Had an alright run out the final corner. I don't think he's going to be close enough though. Neither is Scuba to Evil Chris. Turn 1. And Graham now starting to close up on this battle as well. They're just holding each other up a little bit. A good battle now. Tico has picked up a penalty. And while we've been watching that battle further down, there's the first penalty for him of the evening. Meanwhile, he's not under any immediate pressure from behind, but the man who behind him is under pressure. Oh, there's been contact there. Yarne's had a slide. Chubbs has got on the power early. Drops in behind. You have the DRS. Up front as well, Scuba and Evil Chris going at it. Scuba's got the inside line, he's got the DRS as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an easy one.
Position gained for Scuba. And does Chubbs do it as well? He does indeed. So with the DRS on those medium tyres, making full advantage of the additional grip that they've got. Sway meanwhile now right on the back of Links, all the side by side as they come through the S's. Just drop in behind. Adamako right in the back on this battle as well now. Sway is flying on those medium tyres. It's a little bit hot there. Gets it turned. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Oh, it's the Ferrari. Oh, Yarne's gone. He's had a spin. Gets going again. He's down to P13. And we top 3 are all as you were. A good battle now going up behind. We've got everybody in this racing point sandwich. You've got Link, Sway, Adamako, Tom Duval and Wesker. So Tom Duval back up to P7 now. And the Ferrari unfortunately has retired from the session. Evening Matt tell us in the chat. Yeah, he's called there. The two-stop strategy is the way forward. I think everybody's going to be on the two-stopper. It was the suggested strategy from the game. Everybody pitted on lap 6 under a safety car, so I don't think they'll be able to get the end even on the hard tyres. We shall see.
Managed to move away over a second from Carlsberg.
He has indeed. Meanwhile, here comes Sway on Links. He's closer again. Goes to the inside with the DRS. He should get the move done before the break is in, and he does. Links is going to try and come back at him, but doesn't have the grip. And that is position gained. Now Adamako. Yeah, nice little 5-car train. Wesker keeping an eye on things from the back. Sway then on the move. He's now up to P4. She said up front then, Dutch Tricks has just extended that gap to over a second again. Meanwhile, Tico has just started to come back a little bit at Carlsberg, although Carlsberg has just put a couple of turns back into him again. So these three running fairly equidistant. Matt Tibbles reckons everybody might go to the end on the hard tyres, so we shall see. Into the pits has come Chubbs, so he's not going to the end. He has possibly picked up some damage, potentially in that incident that saw the end for Yarney. Yes, evening City Kosh. So Sway, having got clear of Lynx, has already pulled out 9/10 of a second. So he is absolutely flying at this stage. These three just inching away a little bit from Tom Duval, who's also on the medium tyres. He's got Wesker for company. The second then of the racing points. And then the charging Scuba coming back through. He's already at the P9. He's bringing even Chris with him. Graham in the second of the Renaults. Of course, Chubbs has just pitted. He's come back out on the medium tyres. So, will they get to the end? We shall see.
Good question.
Now the big battle looks to be Tom Duval and Wesker. They are nose to tail. There's a couple of tenths between them. Oh, Wesker there, just very close to the wall. Tom Duval straight lined it. Wesker was a little bit wide and just had a flick left to avoid the wall.
Kalsper's again in the DRS zone. Gonna catch up a little bit of time there at least. Pretty clean to turn 1.
So on lap 15 then, Dutch Tricks still your race leader. He has led from pole from the start. Gap now down to 8/10 of a second though. Tico has dropped a couple of seconds back now, so he is falling away from this battle for the win. However, he has still got 3 seconds over Sway. However, with that penalty looming over him, Sway will be incentivised to try and close that gap. However, I would expect Sway will definitely have to pit again off those medium tyres. The question is, will the hard tyre runners need to stop again? Or can they get to the end? Kasper has halved that gap. That was 8/10 of a second. It's now 4. It's now 3/10 of a second as they round up the hairpin. So he is very much on the back of Dutch Tricks again now. Can he find a way through? Sway there with a little bit of a drift. All nicely in check. Lynx and Adamako still nose to tail. They've pulled away again a little bit from Wesker, who's now ahead of Tom Duval. So Wesker's got the move done on Tom. He's just chipping away. He's up to P7 again. So having lost the position, he has taken it back. He does have a penalty, and into the pits comes Tom Duval. So it doesn't look like the medium tyres will get to the end. Or has he picked up some damage? Let's have a... We'll stay on board then as he comes into the pits. Scuba is pitting as well. Medium tyres not getting to the end. He is, yeah. Tom Duval's getting a nose change. As is Scuba, so Scuba's picked up some damage as well. That should bring Chubbs back into this equation. Scuba's gone to the soft tyre. Interesting. Quite a way to go yet, but he's confident he'll get to the end. Chubbs has jumped ahead of them by the look of it. He's into turn 1. Those two are trundling down pit lane. Where does... Oh, Tom Duval just gets out in front of him, in fact. So Tom has stayed in P10. Chubbs has come out in P11. Scuba out in P12.
Oh, I thought that would be a move from Kasper.
Yeah, he had a look of it, didn't he, into the braking zone. He thought about it, definitely. Adamako and Lynx close together as well, but
yes,
again...
look at that side by side.
Ooh. Here we go then. Oh, Dutch Tricks shows him. Oh, Kasper sideways. Big moment. There goes some wing. Well, that might make the decision for Kasper whether or not he needs to pit before the end of the race very easy. Just got on the curb. Got very, very sideways. Into the pits he comes.
Oh, that's so unlucky.
Yeah, they just went side by side there. Got on the power. The back end stepped out. Just slapped the wall. The front left corner, and the end plate went flying.
I can only say this track can penalise very quickly.
Yeah, this track is unforgiving. As we've seen now. Oh, and Casper's retired.
No.
That's a shame. I think a lot of the drivers would have. Yeah, I think a number of the drivers would have been pitting again. Definitely had the speed to make up some places, so that is a shame. Well, that leaves Dutch Tricks then very much comfortably in the lead. Tico in second, Sway now in P3 and on for a podium. However, he'll have to pit, I imagine. I don't think the medium tyres are going to get to the ends. The question is, are Lynx and Adamaco going to need to pit, or are they looking at getting to the finish on those tyres? Evil Chris is closed on Wesker as well quite a lot, so I don't know if Wesker's had a drama somewhere.
There we go, is Evil going to make a move on Wesker?
Wesker's covered the inside, and Chris just drives around the outside with DRS. Coming to the braking zone though, will Wesker go for a move back? No, he won't, he's not quite close enough. So Evil Chris up to P6. Good move there from him. Now, Lynx and Adamaco are coming back at Sway. A little bit, I think. Gap just over a second at the moment.
He's gonna make it for the DRS. Thanks, but Adamaco definitely is.
I know one's safe, I know. Especially with our point system as well, because everybody who finishes gets points. So it is definitely worth finishing a race, even if you would get P11. That's still 10 points. So, but it is what it is. A frustrating night's work for some.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Copy that.
What's up?
Fastest lap of the race then from Scuba, who has just passed Chubbs. Yeah, he's got past Chubbs on the run of turn 1, so he's back into the top 10. Top tyres flying at the moment, but will they get him to the end? He's got a long way to go.
I think even though Adamaco is P5, looking at the ERS advantage he has over Lynx and Sway, might be a big advantage for the coming few laps.
Yeah, very much so. Well, Lynx has caught right onto the back of Sway now then, so he's got back within DRS range. And that's pulled him onto the back of the Williams man. Head through the S's. Into the left-hander, into the right-hander. Half a second between him and Sway, half a second between him and Adamaco. Question is, how much longer is Sway going to stay out? When does he, if he needs to, will he pull the trigger? Into the DRS then. I don't think he's going to be close enough for a move into 1. Evil Chris is absolutely flying now then, so having got ahead of Wesker, he's put 2.3 seconds into the Racing Point man. He is absolutely flying. Both of them on the hard tyres, both pitted on the same lap. Chubbs is into the pits. Possibly picked up some damage.
What a nice little battle, P3, 4 and 5.
Now,
what's going to happen?
Tico is closing on Dutch Tricks.
Jesus!
That gap is now under a second, so I don't know if Dutch has had a moment somewhere.
Does he have damage? I don't think so.
Don't
No,
think so, no. Looks like everything's intact on his front wing, so just a mistake somewhere from Dutch Tricks. Tico is homing in on him.
Look at that, Lynx and Adam.
Oh, Sway drifting out of the left-hander. Back end steps out of line. Now these three are 3 seconds off the race lead at the moment, so it is not impossible to think they might bridge that gap. So, good pace. Battling with each other at the moment. Sway's still running a good pace on those medium tyres. Can he pull Lynx and Adamaco into the battle for the win? Gap's now down to 2.7 seconds, so it's Dutch Tricks just struggling a little bit. real battle is Scuba and Tom Duval, who have now got together. Graham up in P8, his teammate behind in P9, Scuba right on his tail.
Tico, that was close.
So Tico's dropped out of DRS range again now.
And he's back in.
Scuba had a good run, Tom Duval having to go defensive into turn 1. Scuba's going to try and go around the long way, is he? Or is he going to try and force a mistake? And go on the outside of turn 2. Tom Duval just runs him to the edge. No way through. Well, that does compromise, however, his run through the next corner. And now Scuba with the DRS. Surely going to be close enough for a move into the right-hander before the roundabout. He's down the inside. Tom Duval fights for all he's worth. Uses ERS and stays ahead. They go around the second of the roundabouts now. We're going on to the long back straight here. And this time you would think Scuba should get this one done. Already in the wheel tracks of the Renault. DRS about to open up as well. There he goes. This should now be a formality to the inside. And gets the move done, and he is up into P9. So P9 for Scuba, recovering after that open lap drama.
Sway coming in the pits.
Sway pits. So he removes himself of the battle of the podium for now. Question is, do the front four have to stop? Oh, now Link's having a bit of a weave there. Was he unhappy about something, or was he just cleaning his tyres? Of course, the thing to remember is that Tico does have a penalty, so Dutch Tricks is not under any immediate pressure from Tico behind him. What Tico really needs to watch is that gap behind him. It is under 3 seconds, so at the moment he is at risk from Lynx. P2.
Dutch Tricks having 100% ERS.
Yeah, Dutch Tricks is just saving his ERS, so he's using it now though.
Look at that.
Is he trying to pull Tico away from Lynx and Adamako, who are running close together but not battling? They're getting a good pace. Chubb sets the fastest lap of the race.
136, 114.
He just pitted for fresh soft tyres.
Oh, little contact. Oh, nothing bad, nothing bad, nothing bad.
Just a bit nose to the back of the car there, but no wing damage, thankfully. This battle will continue. So Lynx on for that podium that he came so close to a couple of times last season. So nearly got one at the finale at Brazil. But the last few laps there were somewhat chaotic. So he was shuffled out. However, he could start season 16 off in perfect fashion if he can keep Adamako at bay. And if he can close on Tico, it might get even better. Let's see, we're going on to lap 22. Gap between the race leaders is 0.7 of a second, but Tico does have a penalty. Battle for P3 then is the closest one on track at the moment. Adamako pops out the slipstream, just showing the nose. Not close enough, they're trying to force a mistake from Lynx. Lynx driving very well at the moment. Fend off Adamako.
This might be the time for Adamako. Yeah.
Matt Tibbles there saying Vietnam will make a man question his entire life. Well, Lynx has gone very defensive, covers the inside. Adamako's going to have to go around the long way. And he has got it done.
Yeah,
he has, yep, move done.
Very nice, lap.
So Lynx made him work for it, but Adamako gets the move done and up into P3. However, this battling has just caused him to drop away from Tico a little bit. So he is now back on for his P2.
Flying Dutchman gonna come in or not?
Sway now recovering his charge. He's on the back of Graham. Make that going past Graham there on his fresh soft tyres. Gets a slingshot out of the corner. He's just on a purple middle sector, so Sway is now flying as he charges back up the order. He's up to P7. Yeah, indeed he is, Matt, saying Adamaka, they're a bit of a dark horse for the season. He's improved his pace a lot. He said he's been working on his one lap pace if he can sort out his qualifying. Seen him get a number of fourth positions last season, so he was close to getting a podium last season, didn't quite come off for him. This could be the one sway then. 35.6, that was a good half a second faster than the previous. Set by Chubbs a couple of laps ago. Wesker into the pits as well, so a number of drivers are making late pit stops here. Are we going to see any of the race leading 4 or 5 in? They are all on the hard tyres. Sway is only 11 seconds behind Chris, so he will jump him if he can get close enough now. Adamako has managed to open that gap up sufficiently. He's not under any threat this lap. So what do your race leaders do? Are they going to pit? Because they need, if they're going to, they need to do it soon, because Sway is closing that gap rapidly. And they're at risk from an undercut if they don't. So if they need to pit, they need to do it soon. What are they going to do?
9 or 10 seconds.
Here we go. The answer is not for Dutch, not for Tico. Is Adamako in? No. Link's in? No. So you would think now, if maybe next lap would be the last time they would consider it without that requirement. I think if they go one more lap, then I don't think they'll pit, because you're just going to lose out too much then. But Sway has taken another couple of seconds out of Evil Chris. Scuba is up to P7 now, so he's got ahead of Graham as well. Graham on those medium tyres. Scuba has pitted for soft tyres. He is flying as well. Tom Duval closing on his teammate. Oscar's having a somewhat lonely race now down in P10. That's his Chubbs in P11. A couple of seconds behind him. On the front two circulating together, everybody's just kind of fanned out a little bit now.
Look at that, is he going to make a move, Tico, and Dutch Fricks? No. Might be too late. Defense from Dutch Fricks on the inside? No.
Yeah, now I was going to say they were being caught. That gap to Adamaka was under 4 seconds a second ago. Down that straight though, I think the slipstream has just pulled them away again, but they are back on the cusp of that 3 second gap with Tico's penalty. So Tico will be giving Dutch to hurry up. Now, if they don't pit this lap, I think they're going to go to the end.
Yeah.
I think it'd be too late to a pit stop. So if they need to pit, I think it has to be this lap. Dutch Tricks does not. Tico does not. Adamako does not. Lynx does not. So yeah, I think they're going to the end now. Evil Chris has lost another couple of seconds to Sway. He's now down to 7.7. So Sway is absolutely flying as he charges back up the order. And Tico has dropped about a second off the back of Dutch Tricks, and so he's now out of DRS range. Does he have DRS? Nope. No, he doesn't. No, he's out of DRS range.
Oh.
He's closing down the straight, but yeah, he wasn't. He was using his ERS there to just pull back onto the rear wing of Dutch Tricks. He is now at risk of losing that P2 to Adamako, who has got out DRS range of Lynx, which is going to be critical in that battle for P3. Further back, Tom Duval is on the back of his teammate. So two Renaults together in 8th and 9th. Be a solid opening week for them. Of course, Tom, who had that demon opening stint, unfortunately picked up some wing damage in the second stint, which dropped him down a little bit further than maybe he would have been. Is he going to go for a move? Gets the DRS. Graham doesn't defend too hard. And Tom sweeps down the inside into the braking zone. And move done. The gap between Adamako and Tico is just hovering just over 3 seconds. Adamako can see a P2. He is 1/10 of a second away from him at the moment. tantalisingly close, but still a P3 would be his best result in FTRL. Lynx doesn't seem to have anything to respond with now, having run in what was the best of the rest for so long in this race. But Adamako has just caught past and disposed of him, and he is now 2 seconds to the good, so he can focus on trying to bring that gap ahead of him down to less than 3 seconds and get a career best P2. He is 3 thousandths out of the second. Oh, now he's back in.
Everything stays the same so far.
Tico back in the DRS zone, so he's getting pulled along by Dutch. Of course, Dutch tricks no penalties. Tico does have a penalty. Locks up there. Tico close to the back under braking, but these two have driven together for so long, they know each other so well that there's never really any risk of contact between them. So there's a right-hander, plenty of curve from Tico. Closing up there on the ghosted Red Bull of AP. Mako ploughing a lone thorough. Bring that gap down, it's 3.1 seconds, it is so close. We're about to start the penultimate lap of the race then.
There goes the trick, 2 laps left, lap 27.
Dutch now getting DRS off the Red Bull. Now, if these two can clear the Red Bull and that Red Bull drops back towards Adamako, if he can get the slipstream or the DRS from that, that could be critical on the last lap.
100%.
Let's see then. Sway is now just 2.7 seconds off the back of Evil Chris. So top 5 is very much a possibility here. Scoobing out in a very lonely P7, so the reigning champ. Not his race after getting wiped out on lap 1. Tom Laval up into P8. Good result for him from where he qualified. Graham a solid P9. Wesker, very lonely race for him. He's down in P10 at the moment. And then Chubbs on his return to Div 1. I think he'll be happy to see the flag. Maybe a couple more pit stops than he would have anticipated. But he's shown good pace. He had the fastest lap for a while. And he is on the penultimate lap of the race and still going. The gap between Tico and Adamako still just over 3 seconds then. The race leaders coming out the final couple of corners, so they're about to start their final lap. Where is that Red Bull relative to Adamako? He's getting closer to it. He might have it for this first DRS straight. If he can keep closing. Gap is 2.9 seconds. It's just now gone back over 3 seconds. It's borderline from corner to corner. Tico's going to get pulled along by Dutch Tricks, but if Adamako can get close enough to the ghosted Red Bull, I don't think he's close enough this time. Let's have a look. Does the wing pop open? No, not this time. He hasn't got it at the moment, but he is within that 3 second gap that he needs. Sway is now on Evil Chris as well.
2.8 seconds. Yeah. 2.5.
He's had a good run to the back straight. Now, has he got the DRS from that Red Bull yet? That is... No, he's not close enough again. He'll have to do it all himself. Tico's pulled away down the straight. He's right on the back of Dutch Tricks coming out of the hairpin. Mako's probably now within DRS range of that Red Bull, but he's not going to be able to get it because there's only the short blast out the final corner. So he's got a couple of corners to find 0.3 of a second. Sway has passed Evil Chris for P5. Meanwhile, further back
Here we go, the tricks.
into the penultimate corner. Keep an eye on that gap for P2. Out the final corner, Dutch Tricks is going to win the first round of season 16. Tico out the final corner. Adamako doesn't do enough.
Didn't make it.
Oh, 0.3. Oh, he does. Sorry, he has made it.
P2.
Adamako jumps to P2.
P2.
Fantastic result for him. Lynx comes home P4. Sway recovers to P5 ahead of Evil Chris. Scuba, after his opening lap drama, will come home in P7. Tom Laval is going to come home in P8, followed home by his teammate. Going home in P9.
To get straight there. Hopla!
Captain Wesker comes out the final corner to round out the top 10. And then our final finisher will be Captain Chubbs in the AlphaTauri. Solid return to Div 1 for him. He's got to the flag though, which I think he'll be very happy with.
Welcome Keremies in the chat, meow to you too.
And there over the line he goes. And he rounds off the finishers then. So there we have it then. The first round of Season 16 is done. Dutch Tricks strikes a first blood. Adamako a superb P2. And Tico rounds off the podium in P3. Nail-biting finish, but Adamako just did enough on that last lap to jump Tico on penalties. Great drive from him. Pole position and the win makes an almost perfect start to the season for Dutch Tricks. Sway, of course, with the fastest lap late on those soft tyres.
What a race.
So there we have it then. Dutch Tricks picks up the victory in Hanoi. Adamako comes home a brilliant second place, and Tico rounds off the podium in third. Lynx a great drive to P4. He'll be gutted to have just missed out on that podium. Sway recovered to P5 on the two-stop strategy there. Just didn't have enough to get back on terms for a podium, but P5 a very solid result. Eva Chris comes home a solid P6 as well. Scuba recovering to P7 after that accident on the opening lap. Tom Duval up from 13th. Comes home in P8. Graham P9, his teammate, up from 14th. And Wesker rounds out the top 10 with Captain Chubbs, the final of the other finishers. AP unfortunately lagged out. Came home 12th, and then the retirements: Calspur, Yane, Lennon, Oxox, and CR7. Not their night this week, but hopefully they will have a better race next time out. Round 2.
What does that say for the constructors?
Well, I would imagine that
Renault? No, Racing Point.
Maybe Renault or Racing Point, definitely one of those two, I think, will be leading the first week.
Copy that.
And there we have it then. So round 1 done, 14 to go for Div 1. And of course the action is back here tomorrow for the opening round of the Div 2 Championship as well. So do join us for that. How are you excited for tomorrow, Max?
No comment.
No comment. do you like the Hanoi circuits, or not particular favourite?
I hate it. I hate it to the bottom of my heart. This is the worst track ever of the whole calendar, I think. For me personally, of course. But hey, I've practiced hard enough. I have goals for this season to try and make my first podium. So let's see.
Indeed. Well,
what about you, Lee?
I don't mind the circuit. I don't particularly love it, but of course we only done it once so far when we are about season 14. Had a fairly strong result here, but that might have just been because it was a new track. Nobody really knew it, and everybody was kind of on a bit of an even keel. And I kind of adapted quite quickly to it. So I had a good battle with Pagani and Goy.
Let's just hope the Magic Rain is not coming for Div 2, of course.
Fingers crossed for a dry race tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Indeed. Crossed. So that is the end of the action for tonight. But of course, they do come back tomorrow, 8 o'clock, for the start of the season 16 of Division 2. And then on Thursday and Friday, we are back with GT Sport. We are up to week 5 of the career mode, and this week it is the Japanese Joust. 4 races in the Toyota 86 Group 4 from 4 of the Japanese circuits. It has been exciting so far, and I'm sure it will be more of the same this week, so do join us for those. But that is the end of the coverage tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the race. Plenty more where that came from in Div 1 and back from Div 2 tomorrow as well. But from myself and from Max, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you again soon.
Bye bye.